Hi guys, welcome back to PBTV. And if you've ever wanted to add a John Wick shotgun to your loadout, now is the time. We have the EMG licensed Keltec KSG in store right now, and I am very excited to play with this. I remember many years ago toying around with getting the TM version. We now have the EMG version that is here, and we are ready to sit down with it, have a little chat about how this thing works. If you've never seen one of these before, if you've never used any of the gas shotguns in airsoft before, we'll go through a few of the sort of things that you need to be aware of whilst you're playing with them, and what accessories are very useful with this specific one. So we'll start at the front and work our way back, and then go inside and show you how this thing functions. But very excited. Those that have gas shotguns as well, there are a few quite critical differences with this one that you'll have to be aware of. But at the front, obviously, we don't have any 14mm thread or anything like that. It is just a shotgun, but we do have a castellated nut front end here. So this can be removed. And again, with the fake shell doors at the front, this can be removed. We've not taken it off yet because we don't currently have the tracer unit that fits on this. We've had a little look, and we don't recommend fitting the T238 shotgun tracer that we have, because underneath there is threads, and obviously the way that works is it clamps down. There's not going to be enough contact, we believe, so there's risk of sort of damaging the threads and not being able to put your screw cap back on, and then maybe things falling off, and it'll just be a bit of a nightmare. So we do have the Acetec Quark K on the way, which is a dedicated proprietary tracer unit specifically for this shotgun. Has a torch in it, has a strobe function, all the RGB tracer options that you want, and it is specifically designed to take this castle nut off, put the back end on, put that back on, and then you build it all up, and it's a massive suppressor that goes on the front, and it looks really cool. So we'll wait for that, and then we'll do another video on the Quark K when that arrives, but they are on the way. So if you're thinking of spreading your sort of outlay, maybe grab this, and in a few weeks you can then grab the Quark K to add to the front and have all that shiny, flashy, really good CQB action. So predominantly, this platform is there is a lot of polymer on it compared to a lot of other shotguns. The racking pump at the front, the cover on the top to get to the round count, and the butt pad and some parts of the back are polymer. It's a very high density, very well made polymer, and the entire lower receiver is polymer as well. Metal parts, aluminium, CNC'd. We've got the top rail, the barrels, the mock shell tubes, and the cover at the back for the beating heart of this thing that sits underneath there. So looking at this, it does have that aesthetic that is known for with Keltec, all this ergonomic, squared off, quite textured in a form of like positive grip. So you can see on the pump at the front and on the pistol grip, this thing is really sort of meant to be grabbed hold of and sucked into that shoulder. It is a heavy beast. This thing is 2.5 kilos, so you're going to know about it, but all that weight is back here. So when it is shouldered, it is quite comfortable. It's very maneuverable. This thing was designed real world for sort of SF teams and quick reaction forces in, say, prisons and very tight, intricate buildings to be able to cut around and put fire down very quickly and very effectively. And in airsoft, it kind of works the same way, because you do have now a bullpup system. You have a quite smallish platform with a full length barrel system. So with the barrels being back here, if this was a normal trigger group, the barrel would go all the way out and it would be an extremely long platform. When it comes to accessories and controls of this thing, it is mostly ambidextrous. There's a few parts that, because of the way that the shell's load in, it might be a bit awkward, but we do have obviously the pump at the front. We have a safety here. I can push it up there, and then there is a very bright S there for safe, and then pressing that the other way is fire. One thing I will note is when you rack this, it comes all the way back and then all the way forward, and it will fire. There will be gas in this, and it fires, and then you can rack it again. With this, the trigger reset, almost non-existent. So there's very little click and there's very little sound, so you'll have to get used to that when you're playing with it, and then you go forward. One thing that people will know from older airsoft shotguns is the ability to slam fire. This one does not have that option. So when this thing is racked and ready to go, you can't rack it again. So they've taken away the slam fire option to make sure you rack it, reset, and fire as normal. Again, prevents that sort of, prevents burning through your ammo too quick, overshooting, all that kind of stuff. You are shooting 3 or 6 rounds anyway, so shotguns are an extremely potent platform when it comes to CQB, and this is just one of the systems that they've put in place. As you can see, we have fitted a grip to the bottom of this on the integral riz that's on the bottom of the pump front end. This is plastic polymer, and it is integral to the pump, so the riz can't be removed, so it is just an integral part of that as well. So coming back to some of the controls, you can see this plastic sort of cover up here. If we push this forward and then lift up, you can see a very small switch here. So those that have used the shotguns before, this is your 3 to 6 shot option. So with all the way back, it is 3. You push it forward, you get to 6, and then you can simply, there is a spring-loaded part at the front here that holds this in place. So pushing that forward, it will go back and sit in place, just covering that up and being out the way. Let's go to the back where the shells are going to sit. There is levers, some springs, and all sorts going on back here. It does take the standard 30 round shotgun shells that you've seen, and there is a hole on one side and a spring on the other. So dropping this shell in, I can, quite awkwardly on camera, push this in, and it clicks into the place, and on this side, this is the shooting side. Pressing this lever up, the shell will jettison out. On the other side, this is simply storage. So again, quite awkwardly doing this on camera, but we'll put this one here. This side holds 2 spare shells, so again, whilst you're shooting, you can jettison your used mag out, drop this one out, throw it across, and throw that into your shooting side. So this does hold 3 shells, one of which is the actual shooting shell. Again, 30 rounds, so you get 5 or 10 shots, depending if you've got it on 6 or 3 round bursts. And a sort of throwback to the real steel variant, there's a throw lever just here. So this on the real one is the it's designed to dictate which shell, because obviously the idea of the Keltec is to have loads and loads of rounds in each tube, and then you can swap it and it loads out the other one. This is just for show. It does absolutely nothing about sit there and click, and something for you to fiddle with when there's a ceasefire called and you can't let go of your gun. Play with this instead of the trigger. So that's just something to be mindful of. Coming to the gas tank itself. So we have a rubber butt pad here. It's not awkward to get off, but once you've figured it out, pressing the center allows the rubber to peel back a little bit. And then what we do is we peel the rubber off. So it's not a slide or anything like that. It simply comes off. And underneath here, we have the gas tank. It'll be easy to see on that camera. So here we have the Schrader valve that allows you to fill it. And up here we have the switch that if I press, jettisons out the mag. It does jettison out a lot easier if there is gas in it. And you can see how compact that gas tank is. It does only fit in one way, so you can't put this in wrong. It does not allow you to put it in the wrong way. So flipping that, drop it in and put it in place. Spare gas mags will be available once we can get hold of them, but what we're recommending at the moment is this little cool device. Again, a Novrich portable gas can has a screw cap on top and a normal valve. Schrader valve at the bottom, you can fill this with gas, keep this in your rig, and then as and when you need, you can take this out, just drop the butt pad off and fill this up as you go. Means that you're not trying to jettison gas tanks and various things and pull things out of pouches. You can just fill it up with this and good to go. We reckon that this will fill the KSG tank maybe 2 times, maybe 1 and a bit. But what we have found is with a little bit of testing so far is that this thing gets about 70 shots out of a full gas tank. We've tested on a few bits of gas, or a few strengths of gas, and we are recommending low power gas. Newprol 1.0 was doing about 290 to 300. ASG Orange, which is 164 PSI, spiked up and did a 1 shot of 380. So we need to make sure that people are aware to use low power gas with this, especially with it being 3 shots, and there is a chance that only 1 BB may come out. It might add 20, 30 FPS. So when you're chronoing this, just to be safe, you want to aim for about 300 FPS when all 3 BBs are coming out of the front end. But that being said, this thing is going to be a lot of fun to shoot on range. We've got 285mm inner barrels in this thing, and it is 3 separate barrels, 3 BBs going through it. It is a fixed hop system. There is no hop to adjust. It is just as it is out the box. So what we are going to do, we're going to take this up to our indoor range. We're going to show you what it's like on there, just showing you how sort of convenient it is to load, put shells in it, take shells out, removing the gas tank, and just how it is when it's actually in use. So if you want to join me upstairs, we'll get some rounds downrange. Hi guys, so welcome to the range. We brought this up. We have a shell with some 2.5 BBs in it. We have taken the buttstock off, and as you can see, simply using the Novrich portable fill valve, get it lined up, and it will fill the stock whilst it's still fitted. So again, really convenient, something to have on you when you're gaming. Quite easy to put that back on. Going to the shell, dropping it into the right-hand side. Clicks in place nice and easy, come off safe. And that's a mag done already. Really impressed with this thing. I think we may want to at some point see what this is like outdoors, but let's go downstairs and just have a little chat about a few extra details. So guys, thanks for joining me back at the table. We have seen what this is capable at on our indoor range, and yes, we got a bit keen and we thought we'd go outside, and we've seen that first metal target, the first little tube target is 35 metres away, measured from the start of the wall. And again, we're getting between a 6-inch and a 1 foot spread at 35 metres with this. So means it is absolutely capable outside if you know what you're doing, movement, using cover, getting into that sort of range engagement and using this to the best of its abilities. But it's a shotgun, so it is obviously going to be most prevalent indoors. We were seeing that some of them 3-shot rounds were hitting a single rubber target at the end of our 10-meter range. So yeah, this is going to be very, very effective. Really, really efficient when it comes to gas. We've used the Novrich one a couple of times and it's still filling the tank. We've gone through loads and loads and loads of BBs, but we think we're getting about 60 to 70 shots out of the tank in here. Then topping it up with the Novrich portable gas tank means this thing will just keep going. And you're probably going to have more gas than what you've got BBs, so you'll be reloading your shells before you need more gas. So if you are wanting to grab yourself one of the EMG Keltec KSGs, they are in store now, and if you're watching this video in the future, they'll be on the website too. So grab yours whilst they are available, and we look forward to seeing you rock these on a field, and let us know what you think, how you trick yours out, what optics you'd want to use, what grips, how you'd set this thing up, and stand by for the Quark Ace-Tech K being in very, very soon. That will just give this thing that extra bright punch. So that is everything for today. Thank you very much for watching, as always, and I'll see you in the next one in a bit. Bye.